So welcome to my world on July 12th, 2019. So I wake up and it's 6 in the morning. I look at my phone and then I see that I missed a text in the middle of the night. And I thought that the text said at first glance, because I can't really focus my eyes are blurry when I first wake up. And it's like, I think it says, "Mom, I think I'm going to wreck the car." So I panic, and then I try and focus my eyes and read it again to see if that's really what it said. And then I think it says, "Mom, I'm going to wreck this year," which I think that might be a good thing. And then I figure out that it says, "Mom, I think I'm going to wrestle this year." So I'm like, oh, okay. So I stopped panicking, but I'm too awake to go back to sleep. And now I'm just wondering if because I'm 41, I need reading glasses. Maybe that's why my vision is blurry. So, anyways, I'm just trying to fully wake up and decide what I'm going to do with this extra hour since I'm up early. And Langston is still sleeping. He's cute. So then I just go ahead and stay in bed and check my social media because, got to do that. And then I check the news and see that, Trump is still all doing his stuff. Glad that the census didn't get the citizenship question, personally. And R. Kelly is arrested again. How many times are people like R. Kelly and Jeffrey Epstein going to be arrested and let out and arrested? And just then I look at Kim Kardashian's whole thing with she's trying to backpedal on the kimono brand. Then I look at her hair and I'm like, maybe she kind of looks a little bit Asian-ish in her picture. Is she trying to go for that look? I don't know, but it's not my business. So moving on, sweet baby Archie and Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Then I got to check my emails and delete all this trash because clearly all this is just garbage that needs deleted to get to the long list of other emails that I need to do. And reply to any that need to be replied to. And now I am going to sneak out of bed and leave Langston in bed. Go get dressed. Open up the blinds in the bathroom. Looks like a nice day outside, so that's good news. Get the laundry, do some laundry. Gotta get that done out of the way. I see Franklin was washing shoes and clothes. So I've got to put those in the dryer and find something to wear that was in the dryer. So this is the kind of jeans that I wear. I found these at Ross. They're size 9. And I like them because they have stretch in the butt, as you can kind of see. They have they're not just shaped like a straight up and down jean. So they have these seams on the side and on the top that kind of just help hold your butt in. And they also are small enough on the waist. So it's hard for me to find jeans that are small enough on the waist and also can accommodate butt. And not only butt, but thighs and calves. So I like these jeans. Jean. And now it's time to do my morning ritual of cleaning the house, sweeping. See, Nala is just following me around everywhere. She wants attention. And then I have to yesterday was wash day, so that's why I wrapped my hair last night. Just take my hair down, fix it. And then I look at my Fitbit and see that, I only got 5 hours of sleep, 5 hours and 44 minutes last night. So that's why I'm feeling still tired. I am going to try this oatmeal. It's like a new brand that I haven't tried before. Doesn't look, like the worst thing in the world, but anybody who's read my book knows that I hate oatmeal. And I have a whole chapter in my book about oatmeal. That's how much I hate oatmeal. But it looks like it's supposed to be healthy, and I'm trying to do better with my eating. So I'm going to try it. And it wasn't like the worst thing that I ever ate, but it wasn't delicious either. So after I have something to eat, I am going to look through my pile of magazine clippings, which I am actually working on a new black and white piece. But what I do is I look for interesting motifs, meaning interesting images that I could combine and juxtapose with other images to make a statement, like a social statement. And I see this picture and I'm like, ooh, I might use that for my next piece. And then I also look through and separate out and make files for like black, white, and gray in this case. Or if I'm doing something with color, I separate out the colors into separate little Ziploc bags for like color files, kind of like tubes of paint. But I'm going to set that aside for a minute because I do have a little time to work on this sketch. I really want to finish this today. I just started this charcoal and graphite sketch of Langston the other day, and I just kind of want to finish it. I have to work in all the detail on the fence, do some work on his hair and his hands, and just tighten up everything to the point where I want it to be. And the deck in front of him, he's kind of looking at this deck in a really curious way, which is super cute. So, as I said last night, Franklin wasn't home. He spent the night at a friend's, which is why I got that text in the middle of the night and then freaked out this morning. So then Franklin comes home and I'm making breakfast, eggs, sausage, bacon, potatoes, hot sauce on the top, a little sprinkling of hot sauce. And then he has a breakfast essentials shake with almond milk and a bar. He eats a lot of breakfast. And then Langston wakes up.
You want a movie? Mom. Or do you just want Mom?
What?
I had no idea he was here, so when I saw him, I thought he was a little gremlin.
It's a foot massage.
She bites on my foot.
Oh my God.
She screams.
No. What you doing this morning, Langston?
I work out with or without the blazer? With or without the blazer?
Either way, your hair looks fine. His hair looks fine, but Langston's hair, on the other hand, he needs to have his bath. He has his little rubber ducky and his toys and his bubble bath.
Him. He's all wet. He got out of the bathtub.
So I gotta get him dried off and dressed, or at least get his diaper on, and then he's probably gonna lead me out of the bedroom. That's what he does.
You ready to turn your movie back on?
So let me see what movie I'm gonna put in. And then while I'm putting in the movie, he has to make sure that there are still a full 36 inches on his tape measure. He likes to look at the numbers from one end all the way down to the other end. He's just fascinated by all the little measurements on his tape measure. And these clothes actually I got at Target. I like the Cat and Jack, which is the shirt. That's the brand of the shirt. And then the little shorts are called Art Class. It's an Art Class brand. But I really like those two brands. They make super cute clothes for kids. So I always look for the sales at Target. So after Langston's all dressed, I am going to finish this little drawing and just get it under a mat and piece of glass with a clip frame just to protect it. So this is the finished drawing. And then I just mounted it on the wall so that it's under glass and protected, and I don't have to worry about anybody spilling anything on it on the table where I work. So moving on with the day, we've got to go downtown. So I'm going to get Langston ready for that.
Look And he's eating in his car seat. Yes, he is. He's eating in his car seat.
By the way, I changed my shirt, obviously, because it was too hot for that hoodie. And I put on these heels because they really match the rosé shirt that I'm wearing. It's a nice sunny day. So I'm going to stop by Starbucks real quick and grab a drink. This is an iced cloud lemon cinnamon macchiato. And it's delicious, by the way. And it has some protein in it. So I feel like it's a little healthier. But I love that cinnamon on top. So it is another blue sky day today in Spokane. As long as I'm stopped at the stoplight, which who knows how long that'll be, I might as well chat. Oh, light turned green. Sorry, bye. So we got our prints done downtown. I'm going to be making some greeting cards later today, so I had to print some of my artwork on like 4 to a page and get all that situated. So got all that done and got back home, and the first thing he wants to do is get in the pool. Check out these tomatoes. They're gonna be ripening soon. Langston's just gonna keep enjoying his pool. So while Langston's outside, I checked the mail. Oh my gosh, he's drinking out of the hose. And I found a box with soap from the Duchess of Soapshire, which I'll write the name of her Instagram on my post here on YouTube. But anyway, this goat milk soap is amazing. So I opened up the package. There's goat milk soap. I'm going to try some of the other soaps later on when I take a bath tonight. But for now, I'm trying this one, and it is super smooth on my hands. And I love the bubbles. And she also donates 15% of the sales of her soap to charity, so it's a great company. You should check it out. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and get these greeting cards made. So the printing that I did this morning, I'm just cutting up these images into little squares for the greeting cards, and then I just attach them to the greeting cards, to the cardstock. So Franklin, meanwhile, is bringing lunch. So this is it's lunch from at Liano's, which is a restaurant, local restaurant, Mexican restaurant. So I'm going to eat a burrito. So pardon me while I eat a burrito. This is actually called a Washington burrito, which I'm not exactly sure why, but it has chicken and potatoes and cheese and some other stuff in it. Not a lot of flavor unless you add the hot sauce. So you can see I'm adding like 2 containers of the hot sauce to it. I like spicy food. My kids don't really like spicy food, but I like spicy food. But anyway, so it's a decent burrito. But I thought I would spare you me talking with my mouth full, because then of course there's big gaps in between me talking of me just chewing, which kind of seemed like it would be annoying to watch. So I just did a little voiceover on this instead. So Langston also is going to have his lunch. I'm going to make him a Hot Pocket since he did not like the quesadilla that Franklin brought for him.
Is that better, Langston? Eat Hot Pockets. He likes to eat Hot Pockets. He's got his water. He's got his usual. Yeah, and look it. You ate all of your Hot Pocket except the pepperoni.
So now that he is all the way done with his lunch, we're going to go to bed. It's time for nap time.
I know. It's time for the nap. Yes, it's time for the nap.
So nap time is not always Langston's favorite time, but he does go down to sleep, usually if I just lay with him. This time he actually did not ever get to sleep, but I tried. And meanwhile, while I'm laying with him, I'm going to check my email. And I get an email from Franklin's football coach that they have a football camp this weekend that is $140, which by this weekend means tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday for 7 hours. And they only have a few slots left. And then I text Franklin, and he really wants to do it. And so I'm trying to find where I'm going to get the money and if we can and all that good stuff. So anyway, then I eventually just give up trying to get Langston to go to sleep because he did not go to sleep for a nap today.
So I just got the mail and I got a box, which I was not expecting to come today, but it just came, and it's a little kind of award for, I won a step challenge last month, so it was kind of a little competition, and I won the challenge because I got more steps than any of the other competitors. So I have some cute little supplies, some self-care supplies, a dry brush, which is like a body brush. Ooh, a Starbucks gift card. Oh my God. And some Arbonne essentials, which I've heard of these. I don't know if anybody else has done Arbonne, but I'm looking forward to trying it because I have never tried Arbonne. So this is like energy fizz, protein shake, some little chews that are supposed to help stop cravings, and some digestion plus stuff, and also a book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. Simple ways to minimize stress and conflict while bringing out the best in yourself and others. That sounds perfect. That is totally the book that I need to read right now. So yeah, this is awesome. I love women who support other women, who just, like create little challenges and rewards, and so yeah, that just made my day a whole lot brighter, and I'm looking forward to trying some of that stuff. So it looks like citrus, pomegranate, vanilla, some different flavors. And I did work really hard because there were 2 months actually of the challenge. So the first month I won that challenge, and then the second month I won that challenge. So I kind of won 2 months of challenges. Like I said, I worked hard. I mean, there were some days I got in 20,000 steps. So anyways, not that you can tell because my body looks kind of similar all the time regardless, but yeah, it's better than what I was doing before, which was absolutely nothing. So I'm really just grateful to the women who will not be named who joined the challenge, and then the one lady who actually started it, who is just a terrific coach.
So Langston wakes up from his nap, and the first thing he wants to do is go outside.
You can see the wildlife in our backyard. Includes birds and squirrels. And Langston wants his water turned on, huh? There you go. Woo, here it comes. Here it comes. Woo. Woo. Langston, what are you doing in your diaper? You put your shorts back on. You're sitting there just in your diaper. You get your shorts back on after your nap, huh? You get your shorts back on? He loves the water. He doesn't actually go on his scooter. He actually just pushes it across the deck. It's just like a rolling thing. But, yeah. You gonna drink it? You gonna water the plants? Look it, you should water the tomatoes. Here, Langston. Here, hold it up. Ooh, let's water that tomato. Water the tomatoes. Thank you. Thank you, Langston. Thank you. You gonna water yourself? You gonna water yourself? And we're gonna go downstairs and see what Franklin's doing.
Why are you making me do that? No, not right now. I'm watching TV.
What are you watching?
Stranger Things.
Oh my God. Nathan, look at the sprinklers with the freshly cut grass. Woo! It's gonna sprinkle you. It's gonna sprinkle you. So see, I can see him while I'm working on art and stuff. I can just see Langston right there. Keep a good eye on him. So while I do these cards, I am wearing my waist trainer because I feel fat after eating that burrito. So anyways, yeah, waist trainers, I don't even know if they work, but they do make you feel, you know, like you can hold it all in. Makes you feel thinner while you're wearing it, and it also makes you lose some water weight because I feel like you always sweat in a waist trainer. So there's that. I don't know if that's the only way that they work or what, but anyways, doesn't hurt to try. It's better to try than to just complain, right? That's my theory. It's better to try and do something about whatever you want to change than to just kind of sit around and wish you could change it and not do anything, because then that's the one sure way that nothing will change is if you never try anything new. So I'm making these greeting cards, and I just basically put the image on the card and then turn it over, and I write the title and the date and sign it on the back. So this is an image called Out of the Woods. It's a cut paper collage. Probably can't see it really great on the video, but yeah, I'm making a couple new sets of greeting cards today. So yeah, I was thinking about the whole Me Too movement and just how the Epstein case and R. Kelly and all that stuff is kind of shaking out. Kind of watching all of that happen. It's of course really tragic and terrifying that so many, there's kind of what they look like. So many young women and girls are subjected to some form of either sexual harassment or sexual assault, and that oftentimes the rich guys get away with it, and sometimes even the poor guys get away with it more than they get away with other things. But money certainly does talk in the judicial system, and I think a lot of people just in general, I really can sympathize with and empathize with the girls and women who don't want to come forward, because it's really not something that you want to talk about ever, and especially in front of the whole world. So, you know, to have to talk about it and go through a court case is definitely re-traumatizing. And so I really do respect the victims, or the survivors rather, like, in their decision whether or not to come forward. I think it's important to let them decide that, and not to like pressure people. I don't know. Nala knows. So I'll kind of show you how I do these. So I start with, of course, a nice copy of my art, and then I take this thing, it's a dot glue runner, so I just run that down all four edges all the way down. You don't want to leave gaps, you want it to be sealed all the way around the end, all the way around the edge, so nothing lifts up. And then you just place it on like that, and it's good to go. It doesn't lift up. It's like greeting card, instant greeting card. The value of these is also that then you could, of course, put this in a frame and have a very economical way of collecting really small images of my art. But the other value is that these are all hand signed on the back, so that kind of also makes them a collector's item, because I'm not going to make these indefinitely, so whenever I stop making them, then that's all that will exist in the world, and they will be limited. Right now I really haven't made that many, so there are probably a few dozen boxes of cards in existence out in the world. So yeah. So I'm just going to continue on making these greeting cards, and then once I've created 4 box sets, I'm going to actually load them on my website and email the client who was wanting them in the first place so that she knows they're available, and then they will be up on my site and she can buy a set, or she wanted to buy several sets actually, so she'll buy whichever ones she wants, and then there will still be some left over to sell for other people who might be interested. I feel like greeting cards are kind of, I don't know, like passe in a way. Not a lot of people mail out cards, but they are really beautiful, and they're definitely a way to collect art. In this case, you know, the cards are hand signed by the artist, so that's kind of cool. And my sets sell for $12.99. Some of them are $12 a set, some are $12.99. And that means for 4 cards, it's about $3 a card, which isn't too expensive considering they're like a collector's item, being hand signed and everything. So a few bucks, and you can give someone a small gift. It's like cheaper than buying a coffee at Starbucks. Starbucks is like $5 for coffee, so you can buy a nice small work of art that's hand signed on the back for cheaper than you buy a coffee. Of course, you get 4 works of art, so you could give those to 4 different people and have 4 different gifts available, or you could keep them for yourself and just get 4 little frames. And these would probably fit really nicely in a 4x6 inch mat. So like a 5x7 frame with a 4x6 mat or something like that would work well for if you did want to frame them. In fact, one idea would be to like just give the card and write what you're going to write to it to the person on the inside, and then package a box with a frame in it that's ready to go, so that when the person's done reading the card, they could just frame the card, the artwork on the card. I don't know. It's an idea. But I'm sure that all of you are just as creative and have other ideas of things that you could do. So this morning I was working on that sketch, and sometimes it just bugs me that I'm not done with something. Like I just really want to finish something. So I kind of get in this mode of, I've got to get this done and cross it off my list. So that was what I was really trying to do with that drawing this morning, because I didn't want it to get damaged, and it was, kind of when I'm working on it, it's on the table, and I don't want anybody to, Franklin, not just anybody. There's one person who eats at the table who is messy. That would be Franklin. So specifically, I did not want Franklin to get food on it. So that's why I was kind of in a hurry to finish it. Like I wanted to get it done today. I didn't want to leave it around another day lingering. And drawings are quicker. They're more immediate. They're just more kind of raw and fresh than paintings. I mean, the disadvantage, of course, is that they are not full color unless you're doing something like watercolor pencils or colored pencils, which take a lot more time, so they're less immediate and less quick and so forth. But yeah, so like a pencil or charcoal drawing is quicker to do. You can accomplish that within a day or two versus a painting, which might take a week or two or a month or two, depending on the amount of detail and the size of the image. So all of that just to say that I did finish the drawing. This is the drawing of Langston, and you can kind of see, I just put it in a clip frame. So this has just like metal clips. So it's a piece of glass and a mat and a backing board, and then you can actually just pop that into a regular frame. So it kind of like protects the drawing or collage or whatever two-dimensional work that you've done, and then you can, so it doesn't get dust on it and things like that. So it just is a protective way to keep it until you're able to get it framed. And you can still obviously display it meanwhile, so that's kind of cool. So after I have a number of cards, what I do is I kind of pinch the fold together on all of them. That makes them lay a lot flatter. And that is just something that I learned actually working at an art publishing business in Washington, D.C. briefly. One year I worked there and did a lot of greeting cards for the Hill, so for congressmen, congresswomen who wanted like holiday greeting cards customized. So we printed a local artist's pieces on the cards, and then printed like the greeting, the custom greeting that they wanted on the inside. And so yeah, folding cards is something that I've had a degree of actual professional experience with as well, beyond just hand making things on my own. So that was kind of cool. This is another image that I have. This one's called Lord of the Flies. And I just really like the kind of contrast with like the sun and the lightning, and there's a lot of moody elements in this piece. You might notice that a lot of my artwork actually has more of a solitary figure as opposed to groups of people. And I think that's just kind of reflective of maybe how I feel about life. Like, you know, just one person in a lot of the pieces, or one animal, or one, like this has one hand holding up a candle. So yeah, just a little degree of loneliness or isolation or whatever. Just solitary figure. I think I've always felt a little bit more alone than a part of a group. So from when I was really young, like I just didn't really feel like a part of my family. I didn't feel like a part of my town or community that I grew up in. Meaning I just didn't really feel like I fit in that white rural setting of Troy, Montana. And then, you know, now I guess I don't know if I fit in anywhere. I thought I had found someplace that I really fit in, and I was loving that experience of having kind of like a group and a community. And I still do to some extent. It's just it's not a named group. It's just kind of random people who accept me or respect me for who I am, and don't jump on the bandwagon of haters. So yeah, it's just kind of like a little band of gypsies. Maybe it's a bunch of other people that feel isolated in life too, in some way. I don't know. It'd be an interesting question to look into, like what brings together the people who like Rachel, like what common thread is among them other than, you know, maybe like compassion in general, or understanding of, I don't know, motherhood, or just parenting, or maybe feeling misunderstood and kind of like knowing what that experience is like. Any of those things could be possibilities to kind of rally people around me a bit. So I am almost done. I just have 2 more images and then I'll be done. So this is one called Hide and Seek. And then another one called Groundbreaking. I like this one. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap that up, and then, I don't know, I might have to exercise because I know I've got my little waist trainer on, but I have not gotten in all my steps today. And since I got that package in the mail rewarding me for all my steps last month, I would feel like a hypocrite to now slack and not get my steps in today. So I'll probably have to hit the elliptical before too long. So this is what it looks like on the back of the cards. Just each card is blank on the inside, and then on the back I just write the title and the medium and then the artist, of course, and the copyright date, and I sign. So again, these are all handmade cards. I actually have been making cards since I was really little. Since I was a kid, I would make them for like local craft fairs and stuff. And I would just draw little drawings on cards and do different things, put wildflowers between big, huge catalogs to flatten them and preserve them and dry them. And then I would make little compositions with the flowers on greeting cards. So yeah, it's been kind of a lifelong endeavor to make cards. So these are some of those. And also, so I just gotta say, this is my little rant. This is my hairdresser rant. So I had a hair client today scheduled for 1 o'clock, and then it got switched to 3 o'clock, and then 3:30, and now it's 4, and she still might come. I don't know. But meanwhile, of course, I continue to work on other things. So, yeah, anyway, it's kind of inconvenient to have your schedule change around a lot, but I just realized that Langston lost the back to this earring, so I'm gonna have to find that and put it back in. But anyway, yeah, it's tough in some ways being self-employed for that reason, because you never know when your income is gonna just drop, or somebody's gonna cancel an art commission or cancel a hair appointment or whatever. So, or reschedule. So the thing is, because I had a 1 o'clock appointment, I let Langston sleep in this morning, so then he would take a later nap, because from 1 to 5, then I would just shift his nap, which is usually 2 to 4. I was gonna shift it to like 5 to 7. And then because she was gonna come at 3, then I was trying to hurry up and get him down for a nap at 1, which was impossible. He never actually went down for a nap. That was an epic fail. We tried for an hour and he still would not go to sleep. So then, yeah, it's tough because with his nap schedule, it's just really hard to move that around a lot. And for a neurotypical kid, it probably wouldn't even really be that big of a deal. So I feel like a lot of times people just don't understand that, because maybe it's just like, oh, they'll just sleep when they're gonna be tired and that's fine. But for a kid with autism, the least little change in their schedule is a huge deal. It throws everything off. And, you know, just, it's going to be a tough night. Let me just say that. Plus, as you saw last night, we only got 5 hours of sleep. So 5 and a half or so. So yeah, that's just kind of how it is. I'm not complaining. It's just, you know, it would be nice if people kept their appointments on time, and it also would be awesome to actually be able to just work certain hours. But because I need income, then I can't just be like, well, I'm only going to work from 9 to 5 and you have to get in that time, because a lot of other people work from 9 to 5 or different hours. So I have to really be flexible, or else I may not be able to keep those clients. You know, they may find someone somewhere else to get their hair done, or just might choose not to do their hair. But if I'm too picky about the hours, then my clientele drops down, and then the bills don't get paid. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a, you know, not my favorite thing to have a constantly changing, unpredictable schedule every day. But nonetheless, I try to stay flexible and do things like making these cards. I've made a whole bunch of these now. I'm just finishing writing the titles on all the backs, and then I will box them up. So trying to stay positive, trying to be productive always, and trying to stay fit That's the ultimate struggle for mom, is this part of your body, because it's just like, you know, I don't know how Kim Kardashian, well, I do know how the Kardashian, you know, like surgery, if I had lipo, I mean, boom, it would be just bounce, you know, bounce right back into every place it's supposed to go. That's not an option. So yeah, you know, those of us who got to grit it out and go the non-surgical route, then, you know, there are things like waist trainers and ellipticals and other stuff to try and help with whipping that body back into shape. So I will be back in a minute with, I don't know, might have a hair client and I might not have a hair client. If I don't have a hair client, then I think I'm going to clean the house and possibly take Langston for a drive. If I do have a hair client, that's what I'll be doing. So, but first of all, I've got to finish boxing up all these cards, get them photographed, and on my website, 2 new listings of new assorted cards, and that'll make 5 different options for greeting cards on my website. So the birds, the women of courage, the collection from the Netflix film, the collection of, because I have women of courage, I'm going to do a collection, a male collection, so with more male figures in it. And then last but not least, mostly landscapes, I think, with one girl in it. So yeah, just I'll go ahead and load those. I'll take a picture to include in the video though when I get them all boxed up. So these are the cards all finished. This is the first set of greeting cards, which is a Fine Art Sampler 2, and then this is the second set, which is Fine Art Sampler 3. And this is what the back of the cards looks like. And then this is what the cards look like in the boxes. They just have like little black boxes with a clear lid. So they're just boxed greeting cards ready for sale. So I'm now going to go load them on my website and get those listings ready. I should also say that the cards have envelopes, of course, as most boxed greeting cards do. But yeah, so it's 4 cards and 4 envelopes per box. And these are the 2 different sets. So I have 4 boxes of each set, and they are ready to go. So this is my website. If you haven't yet been to the website, all of the new products that I list on my website, actually, you can find at the bottom of the homepage screen. So for a few days after I list them, they'll just be at the bottom of that screen, and then they'll kind of just be able to be found later in the categories that they go under in the shop tab. So it is evening here, and you can see Langston is in the back seat. And we are at Trader Joe's, and I'm trying to decide what to get for dinner and just groceries. I'm just having one of those days where my brain is like functioning at 50%, I feel like. And TMI, but it's probably because I'm on my period. But other than that, I don't really have a good reason for it, because it's just like, so frustrating. Like I just feel like I can't think straight and can't get my day together because it had several changes in it, and I'm just kind of just not able to figure out what I want to cook today or for the rest of the week. So whenever I just kind of don't have my plans together for cooking, a lot of times I'll just stop at Trader Joe's, because they do have some stuff that's like pretty fast to make. It's still pretty tasty. It's decent food. It's not terrible. And some of it's like 50% prepped for you already. So I don't know. They just have some things that are random that it's like, okay, well, let's try that. And so I'm just going to kind of go in and get some stuff, see what I find, and we'll go from there. And It's also pretty good priced, so you can't really beat it because like usually I like to shop for groceries, like the full grocery shopping order, when I'm super organized and not when I'm feeling like I'm gonna forget something, because I don't like to have to go to the store twice for the same list. And usually I just keep my list in my head. So anyway, that's a long way of saying we're at Trader Joe's and we're gonna go in and see what we can find and then make some dinner. Langston already has his fries and his ice, so he's already working on dinner back there, and he's still in his swim trunks, so I usually don't like to take him out unless he's kind of has like more clothes on. But this is Spokane and everybody's walking around in just the most random summer things, so I think it'll be okay that he just has his little swim trunks on, his little board shorts. He's 3, so you know. Anyway, so I'm gonna pop in here, get the shopping done, and I will let you know what we find. So let's see what we got from Trader Joe's. Something for Franklin. Franklin likes these roasted seaweed snacks. Something for me. Freeze-dried strawberries. They're pretty good. In cereal and other things. Tomatoes. Crackers, which I have a plan for. And dried mango for Langston. Also, these guys are pretty good. They're peanut snacks. They are made with peanut paste, corn grits, salt, and palm oil. They're tasty. Got a couple of those. Franklin's favorite type of apples, Honey Crisps. Got a little frozen seafood blend. Probably make a stir fry with that. Blueberries. I got the hot and sweet jalapenos, which I am going to mix with the whipped cream cheese and have crackers to dip that in. So that's going to be an appetizer. Got some half and half for tea, coffee, and stuff like that. And I have never tried this before, but this looked really good because it said it had kind of cherry and chocolate after overtones or whatever. And yeah, so I'm gonna try that with the appetizer. What else? What else? Chocolate for Langston. And chicken wings. And more chicken wings because that is always a favorite no matter what else is being served with that. Got some butter. Got some, these Persian cucumbers are so good because the skin is really soft, and so you don't have to peel them. So actually Franklin just eats them whole. So those are also a Franklin snack. And then these guys are a Langston breakfast treat. So that's my haul from Trader Joe's. So if you can't guess already, I am making chicken wings for dinner, which is Langston's favorite. And I'm also gonna make probably some homemade French fries with that. And then I am gonna have the appetizers because that's what sounds good to me, is the crackers and that whipped cream cheese, sweet, hot jalapeno. Chop these up, put that in the cream cheese, spread it on the crackers, have a glass of wine, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a nice evening. So I'll show you how that looks once I get it made. And guess what? I forgot something. As predicted, I knew it's like I just felt like I was gonna forget something. So I've been wanting to actually make lemon pound cake, iced lemon pound cake. So earlier today I thought, okay, when I go to the store, I'm gonna remember a bag of lemons and make sure I get butter, which I got butter because that's a standard thing to get. Did not get the bag of lemons, so guess what? We can't make lemon pound cake. I can make regular pound cake, but I really like that lemon glaze, that little tart glaze. So, not making that, but next time. But I am still pretty stoked about my appetizer. So, I'm looking forward to that. So this is the chicken. I've cut up the chicken wings and washed the chicken wings, and then I put them in half and half this time instead of milk because I didn't have any milk except almond milk. And then I just used flour, garlic powder, paprika, salt, pepper, a little bit of lemon pepper, and some onion powder, and just stirring that all up with my fingers. So then I'm just gonna take the chicken wings and put them in this pan of the flour. So just shake it around in the pan once you put the chicken in there and just kind of stir it with your fingers. If you don't have an empty-ish flour bag, if you're at the end of your bag of flour, then I just put all the spices in there and shake that up and then just put the chicken inside of it. But if you don't have that situation with your bag of flour, then just go ahead and put it in a pan and then stir it all up with the spices and then put the chicken in there and just kind of toss them around with your fingers. You don't want to grab the chicken, but you just kind of like are tossing it, making sure that all the flour is coating it on all sides. And just keep doing that, and then your oil should be heating on the stove on about 6.5 or so on a regular electric stove, kind of medium heat, a little bit above medium, maybe just to heat it up. And then you're gonna just go ahead and take each piece once it's hot and put them in that oil and just fill up your pan. And I'm gonna actually have 2 pans of chicken, so I just used about half of my wings for the first pan and then save the other half. I go ahead and just coat them in the flour mixture next, and then just save those out for when the pan is free for batch number 2. So those are going to cook about 7 minutes on each side or so, and I just put the rest of the chicken wings in that flour. So, who else is drinking wine tonight, and what kind of wine are you drinking? Because I love wine. I actually grew up making wine, apple wine and grape wine. Like, we grew grapes and apples. So one of the things in my lunch, when I went to school in elementary school, if I had a cold or whatever, I would have like homemade cough syrup, which basically was just homemade wine with some honey in it. So that was super illegal. But anyways, yeah, I've never tried this kind of wine before. Nero Marron. So, try it out. I know you're supposed to let it breathe and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not really bougie about drinking wine. I just know what I like as far as flavor, and it's always good to have something nice to go with it so that it's not just, you know, like wine that's not paired with food. Has a nice flavor to it. I like rich wines like that. It's like a nice fall flavor. So anyway, I'm gonna now make my appetizer. So guess who just made an appearance? Langston. He came inside because he can smell, as soon as he smells chicken cooking, he has to come check it out and see if it's ready funny. Chicken is his favorite thing. So, yeah, he just poked his head in here to see what was up, see if it was done or not. By the time the first pan is done and I start to work on the second pan, start to fry the second pan, he's already eating something from the first pan. So I'm just chopping up these sweet jalapenos. Sweet hot jalapenos. Try to get nice and finely chopped. I haven't done a cooking video in a while. So I'm always just been in a rush when I've been cooking lately. So, and in the summer, like, it's hard to feel inspired to cook, I feel like, sometimes, because it's just so hot. And I don't know, like, I cook, but it's more of just like a duty instead of like, oh wow, you know, I'm super excited to be cooking. So anyways, those are the jalapenos, and I'm gonna add some of this whipped cream cheese to it. And just kind of stir those two things up. Actually might even use some of the juice from the jar too to make it a little bit, just pour in a little bit of the juice because that whipped cream cheese is kind of thick. I want it to be spreadable on the crackers. So yeah, this is just super quick. I'm not feeling like eating a whole meal tonight, so I'm just gonna kind of have an appetizer and let the boys work on the chicken. Langston will eat 7 wings, which is like almost an entire pack. They seriously sometimes fight over who gets the wings. So, taste that. Good stuff. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more of the liquid. It's got a nice finish to it. It's like creamy at first, but then sweet and then hot, kind of on the finish. I like that. I like spicy things, but my kids don't like spicy things, so that's why from time to time I just kind of have to make something spicy for me. And for example, if I wanted wings, they would be hot wings. They would not just be regular fried chicken, but Langston just likes wings as fried chicken. He doesn't really like the drumlets or breasts or thighs. I actually like thighs. It's my favorite cut for fried chicken. But he likes to eat the ends off the wings, as does Franklin. The same thing with drumsticks. Yeah, that's looking really nice. I need to turn that chicken over. Smell it, Langston? Smell the chicken? Yeah. Chicken. Nummy num. I heard you say So yeah, is his word for nummy num, or just eating in general. So when he says it usually means he smells something tasty and he's hungry. So I'm going to show you this. So this is the appetizer, the whipped cream cheese with those small diced sweet hot jalapenos with a little bit of the chili juice. And I'm going to just spread that on the crackers. Are you ready for chicken? He's sitting. He's ready for chicken. Still cooking. So this is my appetizer with the crackers and some little tomatoes with my glass of wine, which is super delicious. That's my dinner. And it's good. Probably super fattening, but it's tasty. This is the fried chicken, which Langston and Franklin are gonna eat. So after dinner, Langston wants to do his favorite thing, which is swing upside down. So this is also a really good thigh workout for anyone who wants some extra strengthening of your upper body and or glutes and thighs. So he just loves to do this. He really needs to just get into gymnastics, but that's his favorite thing. He just loves to swing upside down. More?
She wants more.
More swinging for Mama?
I know a lot of times I'm not available for more, so he gets used to just doing it one time, but then he's like, okay, I'll do more. He loves this. So anybody who has like a kid who's sensory seeking, like with their sensory processing development, like if they love thrills, this is really fun. It's like a at-home roller coaster ride. So, and it's also obviously a good mom workout. Speaking of which, I've got to check in with my steps. I still am short of 10,000 steps today. So clearly I need to get on the elliptical and put in some work. And while I'm on the elliptical, I like to watch just trash TV shows, basically, like just mindless stuff to just let my mind kind of get off of things, either news or like Love After Lockup or just crazy shows like that. So I finally get in my 10,000 steps, and now it is late at night. It's 10 o'clock, so it's time for the nightly bath. And I actually did clean earlier, so you can see that my tub is scrubbed, so yay. This is a orange clove soap from that package I got earlier. So I had 3 different types of soap. This is goat milk soap that I was trying earlier, and then I have the orange clove, and then there's also a lime and avocado. That's this one, and they're all 3 super good. I really felt like the lime and avocado is more exfoliating, so that would be really good if you were like really dirty after working the garden or something like that, or for your feet. The goat's milk one is really smooth, so it's really good for, I use it for shaving my legs. So I also used the goat's milk soap for cleansing my face, and it was really smooth for that. So this is my non-makeup face, my bare face with all my freckles. And now July 12th is done, so I hope you guys had a good day yesterday, and I hope you enjoyed spending yesterday with me today. So I'm going to upload this video, and I will see you next time when I vlog again.